how do you keep people interested and on board? Well, I think the very first thing is to pay attention to the #1 article that was read this in 2020 on Harvard Business Review. And that article had to do with grief. 34 million people read HBR's article on grief. So what does that tell you? That
Wow.
tells you what we already know, which is that there's a river of pain out there. And so good business leaders are going to, as much as they can, become the empathizer in chief. And that means acknowledging the pain, doing, trying to figure out ways to reduce stress. But it really has to be a much higher sensitivity level from the top all the way through the organization for how stressed out people really are. And I think that will create loyalty connections. One of my favorite examples of this was a company had all their employees working remotely, of course, as most of us do. And they decided to decorate their parking lot at the holiday season. And they just decked it out with lights and bright lights. They made it as festive as possible. And they had their employees and their families and their kids and everybody in the car driving through at scheduled times. So it was all socially distanced. And all the bosses came out and they just started applauding their employees. And then they would pop open the trunk and drop in a Christmas gift. And then they would ride away. It was great for morale. It was a little bit goofy, but it basically said, look, we're separated, but we're still a community. And that was really effective.